Hi, Dr. Mel, doing vectors, and we are busy with forces as vectors. We are going to identify two types of forces in this lesson: gravitation or gravity, gravitational force, however, and normal forces. Let's go back to a lesson that we did previously where we defined gravitational forces. That's the force between two masses. Remember, we did magnetic forces between magnets, we did electric forces, electrostatic forces between charges. Now we're looking at mass. The mass 1 and 2 has an attraction force, and it's non contact. You don't have to stand on the, let's say, the floor to be attracted to the floor. If you're standing somewhere on a bed or on a rock and you jump down, you will be pulled down because that's the mass of Earth and that's the object, a ball or anything. Right, so the Earth exerts an attraction force on another object. And we can actually calculate that force. And we're going to do that just now. We will name gravitational force as an F. Remember, F, a capital F, and it's important that you start doing that. And you can say it's a small g. Some will write F like that or like that. I like to maintain the capital G because that's gravitational force. So what happened? Newton was the person who actually founded this whole concept of weight. He was sitting under a tree, an apple was falling out of the tree, and he started wondering, why is this apple actually falling down and what will make it fall down? And he then got to the conclusion that underneath we've got Earth, and the Earth will attract all objects. And we know that today. We don't even think about it, but that's what happens. So we call that attractional force the weight. Remember, there's a huge difference between mass and weight. You can have a look at one of the lessons where we will have a look at mass and weight specifically. In this lesson, we are looking at gravitational force, which we can also say is the weight. It's exerted by Earth on an object, and remember the direction. It's downwards to the Earth. We can actually calculate the weight or the gravitational force by taking the mass. Remember, the mass is in kilograms. We'll get to this example just now. Times the gravitational acceleration. And I'm going to explain to you how Newton got to this gravitational acceleration now. So what happened? He took an object. I have a 10-kilogram object there. And he actually said if it starts with an initial velocity of 0. Remember, initial, that is V1 or VI. It starts up there. It's a ball, in this case a 10-kilogram mass. And it starts to fall down. He actually checked that in 1 second, the velocity will be 9.8. And in another second, the velocity will be 19.6, which is exactly double that of 9.8. In another second, it was again 9.8. And that brought him to the conclusion that 9.8 meter per second increase in every 1 second, which gives me the acceleration due to gravity as 9.8 meter per second square. And that's the constant that we'll use when we work with Earth. In another theme, we will do the gravitational forces with planets, but currently we are just working with gravity. So I've got the weight, which is the mass times that factor, which I just explained to you just now. So in all cases, I can take the mass times 9.8 and I'll get to the weight or the force of gravitation. In this case, if this is a 10-kilogram mass, the force will be 9.8 Newton. And please remember, we are working with vectors, so you have to indicate the direction, which is down. In another example, I've got a weight of 2 kilograms. Let's say, for instance, it's a ball a huge ball, however, 2 kilograms, and I want to see what is the weight. I now see, in other words, what's the force of Earth on that mass of 2 kilograms. I will calculate that to be 18.6 Newton. I think that's wrong. I think it's 19.6. Yeah, that's 19.6 Newton, and it's downwards. So always make sure that you've got the mass in kilogram, you multiply it with the gravitational acceleration to get the weight or the gravitational force. Right, let's do a few more. I've got a mass of 25. How do I find the gravitational force or the weight? Well, you multiply the 25 with 9.8. Quickly do that with your calculator and make sure that you work very accurately. Whilst you're doing that, I'm going to complete the table. Right, I hope you find that you've got 25 times 9.8 as 245. Remember the unit Newton, and the direction will be down or towards Earth. The same you'll do with 40 kilograms, 65 and 100. And you can check your answers. I got 392, I got 637, and I got 980 Newton. Be careful that you do distinguish when I'm working with mass, the kilogram, and with the force, Newton, because the factor of the gravitational acceleration will change that. And also make sure that you indicate downwards for weight or gravity. It's always downward the force. For instance, if I've got a question asked to you, and it doesn't really matter what they're asking, the main thing I want you to see now is that that mass hanging there has got a gravitational force or a weight pulling down towards Earth. And if this is now a 10 kilogram weight, a mass, I can work out the weight by multiplying that 10 kilogram with, do you remember, 10 kilogram with the acceleration of 9.8 meter per second square. And careful now, you get your answer. Remember the unit and remember the direction. So always make sure, are you working with mass or are you working with the weight, which is the force? Make sure that you know in which area you are working with. So this was gravitational force. Now let's get to the second force in this lesson. The second force is a normal force. Now you've never done a normal force before. So this is the first encounter you get with the normal. And the normal is specifically exerted by a surface. So a balloon hanging in the air or an apple hanging from a tree will not have a normal force. It has to be on a surface, in this case a table. So this piece of block is pressing down on this table. Do you know what this blue force will be? Think a little bit. It is weight. It is the mass times the 9.8, which we just calculated. On the other hand, we find that the surface is exerting a force on the block. So you've got there a force from the surface upward, and that is called the normal, and we'll abbreviate it with that N at the bottom. So it's exerted by the surface, not on the surface. On what? On a specific object, and remember they have to be in contact. Where weight doesn't have to be in contact with the earth. If you have a ball coming down or a fruit coming down from a tree, there's no contact. We know that's a non-contact force. In this case, it's the surface to the object. Make sure that you know the direction, because you will be asked to draw diagrams. And then, as I said, it has to be in contact. Let's see how we draw these. So we've got the normal force. Make sure that you know that we indicate it with that little N. This block is lying on the table. Let's quickly see. Do you remember what this blue force will be? This blue one will be the weight. And now we learned that this table will also exert a normal force. And if this block is lying still on this table, the normal force will be equal to the weight because the downward force and the upward force is actually equal. So the normal force always from the surface towards the object. But what do we do when it's on an incline? I've got a slope here and I've got this box lying on this slope. Do you see there? I've got a cube and it's lying on that slope. So what do I have? I've got the weight coming down here. Let's just draw it again from there to there. And remember, it's perpendicular to earth or to the floor or wherever you are. So I've got that as the weight. And now I've got the normal from the surface. So from the surface upward, I have the normal. And this is different to the one I've just showed you. Remember when we did this one, we said we've got an up and a down, which is equal. Now, when we work with the slope, the normal is to that side and the weight is downward. So it's not equal and it cannot be equal. When we do another lesson where we actually calculate these, we'll be using trigonometry again. Let's quickly have a look. Can you differentiate between gravitational force and gravitational acceleration and mass? So remember, the force of gravity is equal to the mass times the g. And this g is this acceleration, which is 9.8 meter per second square. Can you calculate this gravitational force? Well, if you've got the mass, you can calculate. And then finally, can you identify the normal force, which we'll calculate in the next lesson. But for now, to know that if it's a flat surface, the normal will be upwards from there. And if it's an incline, it will again be from the surface. Always check if you know the forces and draw them in a diagram so that you'll be able to do the calculations accurately. Thank you.